Hello, Mr. Robinson. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Vernon, how are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
So, I understand that you've had a number of experiences during your involvement with the family court over a number of years. But for this interview, we were going to talk about a situation that occurred in one of the courtrooms up in, was it Newmarket? Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And you wanted to talk about a situation that you felt was wrong and that made you feel uncomfortable. So can you tell me about about that one incident that occurred up at that courthouse that day that you felt was not appropriate?
Sure. I was self-represented because my legal aid lawyer quit on me the week before and left me high and dry. And so I was standing at my table, looking at the bench to the left of the bench, preparing my documents and that. And I looked over, and my ex-wife, her lawyer, and Judge Douglas, they were standing in the corner there having a little conversation. And I never really thought much of it. But then as I'm looking at my paperwork and organizing my thoughts or whatever, I heard the name Judge Woods mentioned. And I looked over, and that caught my attention because I've had a poor experience with Judge Woods in 2007. And then I started thinking, I'm really in trouble now if they're gossiping about me over there and mentioning him. And so that's why it sticks out of my mind that they were doing that. I wasn't aware of at the time that it was inappropriate or not supposed to be allowed for them to be doing that, but that's what happened.
Now, were they talking? Was this after the judge came out of chambers and before the court started?
It was before the court started.
Yeah. So they were actually you were at the table where you would normally stand as a defendant there, and they were actually over in the corner. And after they had their little meeting, did then the judge go up into and sit at his bench?
Well, like I said, it's kind of foggy. That was 5 years ago. But, it was, I don't know if he went back in his chambers and it was like 10 minutes later, then he came out and went up on his bench, or if he went up on his bench directly. I can't remember that. But I distinctly remember that happening because they mentioned Judge Woods.
Yeah, but so really the element of it or what happened is that you saw the opposing lawyer and the judge speaking each other privately that obviously other people couldn't really hear what was going on. Is that correct?
That's correct. They're having a private conversation, just sort of like a water cooler talk, like people might have, I guess, before work, I guess.
Yeah. And this was actually in the courtroom at the back near the door.
Yep, just prior to the hearing, just prior to the trial starting, yes.
Right. Let me ask you another question in light of this one experience now. Um, do you feel that if cameras video cameras were installed in the courtroom, which recorded the actions and the words of all the parties inside the courtroom, and that access to these recordings were made readily available at a nominal charge to the parties. Do you feel that this would give you more confidence in the administration of justice in the family courts?
It certainly would, because a layperson like myself going into court, that's not my playground. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to do my best to try to get some justice done for me. And so when things go wrong, when you don't know they're going wrong, instead of somebody asks you, well, what happened? And you tell them and you're going, well, that's not right or that's not right. It's like if they say, well, what happened? Well, here's the recording. They'd be perfect. Like
And
you just asked me now, did the judge go up to the bench after that or what happened? If I had the recording, it's like, well, look, here's the recording.
yeah, but in your mind, the fact that the judge and that lawyer were speaking privately to each other over in that corner, you felt that there's something now that you realize, you feel there's something wrong with that.
Absolutely, because as it turned out, things didn't go my way. And the fact they mentioned Judge Woods there, and Judge Woods, he trampled all over my rights 11 years previously. And so once I heard his name mentioned over there, I remember thinking, now I'm in trouble. They're gossiping about me.
Yeah, now you mentioned the name Justice Woods. I'm certainly have heard that name before with other people. Would you like to, at some point, would you like me to talk to you again and get some of your thoughts together about what that incident with Justice Woods? Would you like to talk about that later on?
Most definitely, I would look forward to it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for your time
Okay.
and your interest. I really appreciate it.